I was just talking, Michael, did you have put up the Christmas lights? You know, we used to put them up and take them down.
I can't understand what it's saying.
Oh, okay.
He asked if you were putting the Christmas lights up.
No.
Oh. Hi, Jeremy. Is Jeremy, you on here?
What's he talking about?
No, he's muted. Is John out in Hawaii going to be with us today?
Huh?
He said he would.
Okay, it's like a winner. We were just talking about when we put up the Christmas tree lights in English and took them down. They had a deal, they started at Jim Bledsoe's youngest daughter.
Who is that? Bob Roberts? No.
Yeah. Can you copy me now?
And who's down here?
Okay. Jim Bledsoe's youngest deal got the Civic Club going again. They had a deal at Light Up English. And it was ever since I was the oldest person in town, I got to throw the switch. There were probably about 100 people there. And there's a lot of people that are putting up their lights and stuff. It was quite a deal. They had a choir there singing, and they were serving hot chocolates and cookies, and it was quite a deal that you would probably enjoy. Even probably run into 2 or 3 people that you knew. Yes.
Hey, there's John.
Hi, John.
There's 4 of us. And Jeremy hiding at the bottom.
I'm doing fine. We were just talking about where we used to put up the Christmas tree lights and take them down.
Christmas tree lights. Oh, yeah.
In English, you know, that always.
Yeah, I remember it happening. I never had anything to do with it.
Well, I was telling you that lady, you missed it there and everything. Jim Bledsoe's youngest daughter came back. She retired. I think she was either maybe in the CIA or one of those deals over around Washington, but she got the Civic Club going again. And they had a deal that Light Up English. They had a tree up there and everything. And since I was the oldest guy, I got to flip the switch that turned the lights on.
Oh, okay.
So that was last week, and there were probably about 100 people there. And they was serving hot chocolate and cookies and had a choir that did some singing.
Oh,
And it was quite a deal. But,
after I joined the Air Force, every time I went back to English, I would notice how much different it is, you know, with a fairly long period of time in between times. So most of the English history that you know, I have no memory of at all.
yeah. Well, do you remember getting treats out of Pooch Gobble's yard over there when we used to go through?
No, don't think I do.
You know, they used to, that they served the treats there. You got an orange and a sack of candy. They would go through, they know around Novi's yard, there was a wrought iron fence.
Yeah,
They'd
right.
stand at one of them and they'd go in and walk through. And then they would pass out the candy. And my gosh,
I think I do remember that.
yeah, it seems like there'd be probably 200 kids there. They come from in all around the county there.
I seem to remember that the oranges were always sticky because they were with the candy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Roy Cummins used to come in dressed as Santa Claus. He was kind of a skinny Santa Claus, but he was always driving a horse and a buggy. And he would get in there and pass out the candy and stuff. That I see Jeremy's picture up there, but he hadn't come in with us yet.
No, he's just stating that he's part of the deal.
Okay. I was just looking over some of the things for history and things that, they had a deal up there where they had all of the people in the wars and everything. Of course, I didn't know back in when it was killed, but I was just thinking, and maybe you guys knew part of them and things, but they had Bob Duggins or Robert Duggins. He was I don't know whether you knew Max Duggins or not. He left there probably in 43.
Yeah, I knew Max.
Okay, and there was his brother that he and Charles Spears went down to join the army together, and Bob was underweight. He couldn't get in there. So he put a hitch in the army and came back and joined the Navy. And he was one of the very first people who was killed in the war.
Oh my.
He was there in English, and then had Elmo and Ralph Gillen that they lived just outside of English. And then had William Goins. He was Lois's, my wife's first husband. He was killed there. He was Marlene's, and then Virgil Johnson. He was out from Dog Creek. Had Bethel Parks. He was Estill Parks' youngest brother. And had Vernie Searles. He was from Grantsburg.
Mhm.
Max had a sister named Maxine, and then Eloise Ferguson was.
What was your last name?
It was Searles.
Searles.
RLES. They lived in Grantsburg there.
Yeah,
I think maybe
I knew some
her
Searles.
mother ran the store there in the post office. And then we had Ralph Starr as Della Mae's brother, and Charles Stroud. He lived out on toward New Park out there and everything.
Was he one of the Harold and Daryl? and May and Faye
Harold and Daryl Stroud and stuff. I think
and
he
May
was
and Faye?
their uncle. Remember Harold and Daryl, the twins?
Only family I knew with two sets of twins. And Harold and Daryl were so identical, nobody could tell them apart, even themselves. They'd get their
I
school
couldn't either.
pictures.
John Murray said he could, but I never could.
I don't,
They nicknamed him Bubber, so they just called both of them Bubber.
yeah. They'd get their school pictures taken and they'd come back and they wouldn't know who was who, which one was which.
No, they were absolutely, they had twin sisters too. But
Twin, but not identical. May and Faye were very much not identical.
yeah,
And I started
And
school.
Ray and Faye, they're both passed away now, and so is
Yeah.
Harold and Daryl and stuff. Their dad went over to Milltown to work in the quarry. He worked up at Marengo, and they closed it down, and he went and worked for a little cement there in Milltown. And they all moved over there and lived in Milltown. I guess they married and lived over there until they passed away.
Yeah, May was in my high school class until they moved.
Yeah,
Or maybe not high school, may have been earlier than that, but
yeah,
we were in the same class for a long time.
yeah. That's kind of your speed then, wasn't it? You knew that family. There was a big family too. There must have been a dozen of them. I was looking over something, running across something and everything, and that where Art Sloan lives,
Yeah,
that was a log cabin.
right. And they built the house around the cabin. Yeah, I remember that.
That was built in 1816. And it was added on and everything. And in the later years, they had a fire out there. And we went out and tore it down and found out it was log cabin. We put the fire out, it didn't damage too much, but there was some deal from Bedford, bought that thing and tore it down and moved it up, I think around Bedford, and put it in a Pioneer Village. So I've never been up and tried to run it down.
Well,
But I have
you ought to do
income.
that. That would be interesting to know where that is.
Yeah, but that was sold in the real estate. Pardon?
Publish it in that Crawford County, oh, what is that, monthly Crawford County-in?
Oh, yeah, it comes in there. Occasionally there's some deals that comes in there that is real interesting.
Yeah.
Looking back, you know, that now the Clarion is under new management.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, and so is the Cardin Democrat. And they were looking for an editor over there. Years, finally got, so they kept cutting things out, cutting things out. And it's now printed in international.